the entire nation of Mexico applies under asylum. Do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America? Is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I knew you
Are
were...
you okay with deporting every illegal person that's here? Do you think that the American government should first have an obligation to citizens before foreigners?
Wow, he's already really hurt and the video just started.
I'm going to start off by saying I'm a political science student. I'm a second year here at K-State. And I'm a first generation student.
Try to turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up a little bit?
Yeah, perfect, great, thank you. And what's your name again?
Alondra.
Nice to
Alvarez.
meet you.
Yeah. So I just had a question, because you talk a lot about like protecting and securing our southern borders. But as the granddaughter of immigrants, I think that we get into a lot of complicated disputes with the idea that immigrants are criminals or drug dealers and things like that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is on those expectations or those, those stereotypes that are put on Hispanic communities, Latino communities, and how they change the way people perceive immigration.
Sure. So, thank you for the question. So you said you're the first generation
Yes,
student
I am.
or first generation American?
I'm a first generation student.
Cool, great. Second generation American? Did I hear that right? Or-
Third generation
Cool.
American on my mom's side.
Great.
Second on my dad's.
When your grandparents then, is that right, came
Yes.
to this country, did they do so through the legal process that was in front of them?
So my father got married to my mother, so he's a legal resident of the United States. She's been here her entire life.
But did she enter legally?
She did.
Okay.
She's born here. Yeah.
Got it.
My grandpa on my dad's side entered in illegally.
Okay. So I'm not here to like insult your grandpa, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, but we must be very clear that the type of immigration that we support is when you follow our rules and you come on our terms, and that you do not break into a country uninvited and you try to cut.
Can I add something to that? The reason why he left, and a lot of people in Mexico do, is because of the political state, especially in the 70s and 80s.
And this is the problem. Before you even get any deeper into that statement, I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. Charlie Kirk, he's conservative. And a lot of conservatives, I'm going to just be honest with you, they don't care why people are leaving their lands. They just don't care. I'm going to be 100% honest. They couldn't care. They don't care at all. It doesn't even cross their mind, I would say, why people are leaving their lands. And the reason why it doesn't cross their mind is because in their mind, if you are illegally doing something, it doesn't matter why you're leaving. In their mind, you are doing something illegal. You are breaking the law of my land now. Forget what happened in your land. You came over here and broke my land's law. Think of it like this. Think of it like a house. America's like a house. We all live in the house. We own the house. If someone was to break in your house, the reason why they broke in your house, it doesn't even cross your mind. And that's kind of how conservatives look at America. They don't care why you broke in. They don't care why you're here. All they see is you not supposed to be here. Point blank period. I don't care why you're here. Get out. That's the perspective. So let's see. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. I'm LFR Jojo. Let's get into it.
When they decided to move, they have a government that isn't supportive of their constituents, and because of drug problems, their only choice was to move.
Yeah, I totally sympathize. That's not true. It's never the only choice to commit a crime, and we should not put up with it. And so it is an insult to other immigrants from Vietnam and Laos and Pakistan that have to wait decades in line to morally equivalate people that come in and just break in. Oh, I have an unstable country. Like half of the world's countries are unstable.
Yeah, but that's why we have the asylum seekers program,
which is heavily abused. And we're talking two different things. Asylum seekers and walking into the country illegally are similar but different things, right? And so we have millions of gotaways of people that we have no idea who they are. They're not declaring asylum. They just run across the border.
Well, because they can't. The system doesn't allow other people from Mexico specifically to assign themselves
who they are the last couple of years. So look, we just have to be very clear with this, is that if you come into the country uninvited, you have committed a crime and you are a criminal. And we could decide that we're not going to enforce our laws, or we can say that when you are a criminal, you should then be punished for that crime, aka sent back to your country of origin, because you were not invited. And it is an insult, again, to the Poles and to the Czechoslovakians and from the Senegalese and people all across the world that don't have the proximity or the luxury just to waltz into America.
You call it a luxury to leave a country that has political tyranny and come into a country with opportunity?
Yes, to live in Mexico, to be able to go 100 miles north and break into America. Do you know how many people in Pakistan would kill to be on that border?
That's why we bring them in.
Well, we shouldn't, right? That's the point. And secondly, do you think that you have a right to immigrate to America?
I think that...
And I was right. That's how conservatives think. And I'll be honest, that's a fair perspective. That's an extremely fair perspective. And I keep saying this over and over again in all my videos. It would genuinely be a different discussion if it was legal immigration. The problem is that people think conservatives or people think people like Charlie Kirk have a problem with immigration. You need to read between the... Well, you don't even have to read between the lines. Just listen to what he says. He has a problem with illegal immigration. That's what he says. That's the issue, the illegal part of it. Immigration is not a small thing that you can just... It's not jaywalking or something. You're moving countries. You're crossing a border and entering a country. So when you're doing it illegally, you're bypassing laws. People are going to have a problem with it. I thought it was just common sense, but maybe not.
I didn't have a choice. My grandparents made that decision for me.
I'm not trying to attack your grandparents, but no one has a right to go to anybody else's country. You are invited. It is a privilege, not a right, to come into America.
So it's a privilege to live a life that requires you to have clean water, clean food, clean air.
Yes, of course it is.
And you have to fight for that?
Yes, it is not.
But we didn't?
Hold on a sec. Well,
born here, we didn't fight for that?
Well, my ancestors did fight for that, actually, and I'm a very thankful recipient of many generations of Americans that fought for the greatest nation ever to exist.
By doing what? Coming here?
Well,
illegally?
Wait, what did my ancestors do? They
came here illegally.
They came over here in 1620, fought in the Revolutionary War, fought in the Civil War, fought in World War I.
So because my grandpa didn't come here in 1620, it gives him no right to have a good life?
No, he can fill out paperwork and wait in line, like the rest of the world. And then we can see whether or not it's in our best interest to allow him to come in. And so we have to weigh costs and benefits. I'm not saying we should have no immigrants, but immigration must be a net benefit for the American homeland and for the American citizen. We have brought in 10 million people in these last couple of years. We have now brought in 5% of the population of Haiti. Nobody is asking these questions. We're just saying, if you want to come in, you can come in. Do you see anything wrong with, taking in 5% of the population of Haiti?
Not necessarily, no. If we have the land and the resources to house them, it shouldn't be that big deal to bring in immigrants.
Really? Do you think that the American government should first have a obligation to citizens before foreigners?
Okay, I think we have an
answer
obligation.
The question. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're obligated because we're citizens to have the rights that we have, but that doesn't mean we can't open up our borders when we have the process to do so.
You, being a younger American, and everyone in the audience, is the first generation in American history to have it be worse off than your parents. So and you agree with that, social contract, poorer, more expensive. Yeah. So wouldn't it be rational for the American government to say, we're going to prioritize younger generation Americans that are American passport holders and citizens before those in another nation?
I don't.
What? You don't think? Oh my gosh, bro! We can't be in the same generation. We can't. And sometimes I watch these videos and I try to give the students the benefit of the doubt because they're students, they're young, they're learning, but it gets to a point. He in Charlie Kirk, and the reason I do a lot of his videos is that he's very direct. He doesn't leave anything up for interpretation. He is one of the most direct people when it comes to politics that I react to. But people just act confused. We are one of the most struggling generations in history for being young. That's one of the most struggling generations. He's telling you this, and your answer, he said, shouldn't politicians, shouldn't the country look after the young people before people who aren't even actual citizens of the country? And you really are sitting here thinking about this as if it's a freaking calculus problem. As if you're trying to solve a differential equation or something. Like, this is just the hardest thing ever. I can't take it. I can't take it.
I don't want to say anything that offends people, but I've
Go
already
ahead.
said it, right? I've already said
Yeah.
it. Whatever. I think that the way we're going about it is wrong. And that if we don't have a clear path to citizenship, we won't open up those opportunities for people to come and seek a good life. But I also think
But
that,
it's
yeah,
not-
we
it's-
are
it's
required
not-
to have those rights ourselves
Seeking a
as
good
American
life
citizens.
is fine. It's a nice added benefit. Our government does not exist to improve the life of foreign citizens.
But we should be open to the idea of accepting
Of
that.
course we are, if we have our own
Yep.
house in order. We are in chaos right now. We have the most depressed, suicidal, anxious generation in history. Our birth rate is collapsing. Kids can't afford homes.
Yeah.
You guys are drowning in debt. You have to compete you have to compete for jobs against foreigners. Our country is a mess right now. And so when your country's a mess and your home is in disarray and bedlam, your own government should say, time out. I have a heart for the people of Haiti. I have a heart for the people of every country. But you're not coming here until this generation at least has it as good as their parents.
But it's the stereotype that I'm given as a Mexican American to fulfill those standards that people have on immigration as well.
I don't share that. I haven't said that here today. There's people from all over the world that enter the southern border now. There's 118 countries that come across the southern border. But I don't care if you enter illegally from Bulgaria or from Laos or from Mexico or from Nicaragua. Someone who does not have their paperwork when they come in is by definition breaking federal law.
Yeah,
And
but
so then what should we do with someone who breaks with federal law?
But does that mean that people, including their children, their grandchildren, including myself, have to live with the stereotype or the standard set upon me that I am a criminal, I am a drug dealer, I am a XYZ?
Okay, so
What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? I don't even understand the argument she's trying to make. I didn't think any of that when I seen you. And if somebody does think that when they see you, it's something wrong with them. I don't think majority of Americans think that when they see you. He's just saying illegal immigration is wrong. I genuinely don't understand how you even came to this conclusion. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm confused. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
played into that stereotype.
I've heard it many, many times, not from you specifically today.
Okay, but then it's a little bit of a red herring, right? Because we're not even talking about it. I'm not.
Well, my original question was, what do you think about it?
What do I think about stereotypes?
About the stereotype given to immigrants right now and children of immigrants and people of color here.
Well, I can't talk about something I don't believe in. So, I mean, I don't want people to be stereotyped. No different than when you look at a young white man on campus, you think he's a rapist, right? Which is...
No, I don't.
Well, that's good. No, but that is a stereotype that is pushed sometimes. Like, oh, if you see a young man on campus, it's campus rape culture. Stereotyping is wrong. It should not occur. But we also must understand that the way that we constitute our immigration policy right now in this country is not in the benefit of the American citizen. And we're acting much more like a colony than a country. And where a country is where you have ties that bind you together. You have a shared history, hopefully a shared language. You have a shared culture, where a colony is you come from anywhere across the world, and so be it.
Yeah, but isn't that like the point of America? Diversity and inclusion and belonging.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Where is that in the Constitution or the Declaration that diversity and inclusion, these are false ideals that are taught in school. They're, I guess, nice, but is diversity and inclusion really an American ideal?
I think so.
Where does it say that?
I think that everyone has the right to live out their own individuality, their own lives, and their own way.
I know, but you say the American ideal. Where do you get that from? Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness. For America.
The Pursuit of Happiness? Are you talking about the movie with Will Smith? Like, this is sad. I'm scared, honestly. I'm really terrified. Because if an entire generation thinks like this, where are we going to end up in the... Like, nah, let me stop. I just pray everything ends up good, but... He came to you and said, people can't afford houses. We're one of the first generations where we're, on average, doing worse than our parents. People can't get a job. Inflation is high. Groceries are high. Childcare is high. Everything is high. Think of anything you like to do, and it's probably more expensive than it was 10 years ago. Way more expensive. And your answer to this was, shouldn't America be the pursuit of happiness?
Americans. You're right, because that's what the Declaration
I'm an
was
American.
written for. No, if that's fine.
Does that mean I'm not valid here for having a diverse background?
No, of course you are, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that what.
So can I not express that?
No, don't change the topic. You said we should be able to open up the country for people from all across the world.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that is a core belief?
Because we want to help people. That's the point. We came here a
Got it.
long time ago. We established a country a long time ago, and we want to have other people come in, I think, to live in the luxury that we live
Got
in
it.
now.
Last question.
I knew
Are
you
you
were-
okay with deporting every illegal person that's here?
No.
Why?
Because there's some people here that are not represented well by the media. There's a lot of illegal immigrants here that are working their butts off for the life that
No,
they want.
I don't care if they're working hard. But the point is, what should the punishment be for breaking into a country?
Depends on the crime you commit after
No.
you break into it.
I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't. The crime is breaking in the country. Oh my gosh. I can't. This is driving me insane. I can't. I can't hear her speak anymore. I'm done. This is insane. I'll talk to you guys later. You understand why I feel like this, so I don't even have to explain myself.